right, we should be live. Now, yesterday I tried to do a quick run live and it lasted 10 seconds because I have no data like really left on this phone. So when they say unlimited data, it's so slow you can't really do anything with it. So I reached my fast internet cap and I did a speed test and I think it was either 4 meg up and down or 0.4 meg up and down. I'll post that later. But yeah, that live I think lasted like 10 seconds. It was horrible. So right now 100% on the Starlink. You can see it right here in the sunroof. So we're gonna go for a long drive this time. So right now I am just south, a few minutes south of the Wisconsin border, and we're gonna be driving for almost an hour to Mount Prospect, Illinois, because I have to check a computer and stuff over there. So I'm just gonna grab some breakfast at my usual Dunkin' Donuts, and we're gonna drive. So we're gonna be driving through several suburbs. I am purposely gonna take the streets, not the highway, because I want to take the streets, not the highway. But 100% Starlink Wi-Fi signal is great because, again, Wi-Fi signal, just to let you know, Wi-Fi signal is just a communication between the two devices. Wi-Fi is not internet. We refer to it sometimes as internet. Wi-Fi is not internet. Wi-Fi is just the connection between your device and your router. We're going to say router. So obviously the Wi-Fi signal is amazing because literally the phone and the satellite is probably, what, a foot away from each other? What is up, Paul Baltimore? We're going to do a long test of the Starlink Mini. I was debating about it because my other car's in the shop and I have to pick it up today, so I'm switching cars later. So I'm going to have to take all this out and put it back in the other car, put it in the other car. But it's plug it in, dude. That's all it is. You're tired? I don't blame you, man. Long nights, bro. Long nights. Dealing with a lot. Filipino euphoric, yo. So I'm gonna grab some food and we're gonna try to stay like, now this phone data is gone. I'm 100% on Wi-Fi with the Starlink Mini, which is just a little dish right here, and I'm to plug it in my car. So we're gonna stream 100% on the dish.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, let me get the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant.
Okay.
Avocado toast, no bacon.
Okay.
Large hot coffee with sugar and extra cream.
Extra cream, regular sugar, okay.
And that is all.
Please sit down.
Thank you. He's probably gonna sleep. He probably just jumped in and say hi. The morning sun is killing me. But yeah, I tried to go live and I forgot I ran out of the high-speed data on my phone. So after 10 seconds, it just died. I mean, the phone was so blah, it wouldn't do nothing. So I did a speed test and I got the picture on the phone. I just can't check it right now. It was either 4 megs up and down or 0.4 meg. So unlimited data is bullshit. Good morning. This is the coffee, and then we'll do the payment.
$8.29.
All right. And you mentioned something about butter in the coffee last time, right?
Yeah.
Can you throw it in there? Because I forgot all about it.
forgot?
Yeah, I want to try it. All right. Thank you.
give you one of these so you can mix it up after like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Right here. Yep, right here. Good days.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, I got to go into the office today, so I figured I was supposed to go into the office on Tuesday, but I was sick. Mostly just physical. My knees are not the greatest. I had knee surgery, minor knee surgery years ago, and every so often it bothers me. I think it has to do with the weather too, because summer's over with. It's starting to get colder. But I figured today I'm going to the office, so I'm slapping the satellite up. We're going to see how things go. Normally my test, there's 2 tests I want to do. Today's going to be one of them. So normally my tests were just when I set it up. That sun is really bothering. Which was in the backyard. It was a nightmare setting up the account. Setting up the account is a huge pain in the butt. But after that, everything's cool. And then a couple quick food runs, nothing long. And I learned something. Don't turn the satellite on and just take off. You have to connect to the Wi-Fi. You have to go into the app. You have to keep an eye on it. You know, and it could take a few minutes for it to finally connect. So you want to make sure you connect before you do anything. So I wanted to make sure I stayed on my driveway until the satellite actually connected before I drove away. But we're gonna do a long drive this time. So I'm in Lake County right now, Lake County, Illinois. I'm up by, just to give you guys a reference, I'm as far north as Six Flags Great America. We're gonna be driving into Mount Prospect, Illinois. Try to stream the whole thing, mostly my face, and see how it goes. And again, this phone has like nothing for data left. It is so bad that if the satellite goes out, that the stream's gonna drop 100%. Zero cell data. I have to wait until next month to get my high-speed data back. And they call that unlimited. It's so slow you can't do anything, but that's unlimited. So I guess legally, because I can still connect to the Wi-Fi, I mean, you can't even watch YouTube. YouTube won't even load on this phone right now without the satellite. So you guys just let me know if you're in the room how things look and all that stuff. And then don't mind all my road rage and cursing and stuff, because, you know, speed limit's 45, I'm doing 45, and then we got assholes like the guy behind me up my ass in my car and all that shit. So you will hear some cussing and some cursing. But I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit of the road while I eat, because I need to eat. Now, the blurriness is because the camera's trying to focus on my dash camera. So don't mind the road being blurry. That's because my dash camera's in the way. I'm addicted to avocado toast, I'm just saying. Now, personally, if you guys overheard, I never heard of putting butter in coffee. The guy at Dunkin' Donuts recommended it a while ago, and I forgot. So I'm gonna try it this time. A little bit of butter, He said in the coffee. I don't mind experimenting sometimes. Now the road's gonna widen open a little bit up front. I won't be surprised if the a-holes behind me start trying to go around me. And I'm not driving slow. I'm sorry. There they go. And she's gonna get in front of me too. See? Directly behind me, and now I had to go in front of me. And I was not driving slow. Bad dog, Mom. Bad. Oh, don't get blind now. Morning sun. So far, I'm not seeing any connection issues, no disconnecting, no drops. Now, you're not going to get crazy fast speeds. And what I mean by that is you're not going to get 300, 400, 500 down. I think that max might be like 150. I'll have to look it up. But every time I do a speed test, it kind of varies. So it's not like it's a solid speed. But normally it's double, triple digits. So it's not like I don't think I've ever did a speed test that was like 10 or 20 minutes down. It's like 50 and up. But when you take in consideration, all you have to do is point this thing to the sky. You literally could probably use this anywhere in the world. As long as the satellites are in the sky, you're good to go. Try to stir this coffee without spilling any. And that's a good idea when it's a green light, so I'll wait. I'll just drink it like that. I'll just shake it. Butter sugar melt. As soon as I get to the next red light, I'll look at comments if there are any. I did see yours, Paul. Thank you. My days of driving insane is over with. People don't like it, but I drive the speed limit. I drive defensively. They could always go around. Now, the only time I noticed I had an issue with the satellite, which is understandable. Ooh, I'm hearing the train now. You guys are dumb if you're behind me. Yeah, you're nervous because you're dumb for getting behind me. You didn't clear the tracks. God, people. You lucky car went into the other lane. But, yeah, when I went through the drive-thru at Popeyes, their building and their fence with like trees and all that stuff, I have a feeling was really affecting the signal between the satellite and the dish. Grab my sandwich. And again, if anyone's noticing blurriness and they're not blinded by the sun, that's more of the phone's camera focusing on my dash camera, so it's blurring out the background. I have to see if there's a setting somewhere on the phone to not, I guess, not do that. As soon as I'm finished with my sandwich, I'll switch to view. That way the sun's not in you guys' face. But I think I've had the Starlink Mini now, what, about a week? I think it came last week, and I held off until the weekend. So on the channel, there's at least 2 or 3 videos on the Starlink already. You know, set up when I was at my porch. So just remember, I didn't finish my thought from earlier. So 2 things I wanted to do is a longer drive, which I'm doing today, and then maybe this weekend I'll do the other one, which is try to test the distance. So with the Starlink Mini, the router's built in. Now you don't have to use the built-in router. My understanding is, and I didn't look into it yet, but there's a setting where you could change it to where it's just a modem. It just passes the internet through. So it's like putting your router in bridge mode. And then you'll have to have your own router and access points and all that stuff, which if you're going to set this up, let's say in a very large area and you have the devices to do it, or in a house where you would put this on temporarily, like on your roof or something, and then run a router that's in the house with access points and all that stuff, depending on the size of your house, you could do that. Me, if you're doing a large area outdoors, I would put it in bridge mode, connect a router to it. I'm all about unified, ubiquity devices. So you could get a few of their outside routers, get a couple of battery stations, mount them around certain areas, and you could do it wirelessly. You could mesh them all together and really extend the Wi-Fi to a large area. Will be better to wire everything if possible, but again, especially if it's not your own property, that's not always that easy. They also have wireless bridges, which I think would work even better, where you would have it as more of a high-speed connection between one bridge and the other, and then you would connect a access point on that side, and probably use some type of power station. So there's a lot of things you could do, but with the satellites, strictly outdoors, so that's great for people that are going to the beach, hiking, that kind of thing. This particular model is really not recommended for, I think, home use. Doesn't mean you can't use it for the house, especially as like a backup Wi-Fi or backup internet. But if it's going to be 100% at a house, they're going to recommend their larger stationary home style satellites. Make my turn. Like I said, we're gonna take the streets all the way. Hopefully after I turn, the sun will get out of your face. And I saw someone mention this in one of their own videos, and I thought it was interesting. And I'm like, hey, wait, my car has a 120. I'm just gonna plug it into the car. not really tasting the butter. I mean, a real little bit. Maybe because I didn't mix it. Now, if it wasn't the fact that this is my car and it will kill the battery, but I'm pretty sure after I turn the car off, it's going to turn off the power to the satellite. Could probably test the distance as soon as I get to the job, but I don't think none of that's going to work. So we're worried about testing the distance of the Wi-Fi this weekend. Now, I have every intention of taking this satellite with me to the Philippines. Once I'm at the Philippines, I think all I need to do is like register it to an address in the Philippines and then change the package. That way I could have one that's more appropriate. Now, you don't have to do that. My understanding is you can still use the satellite outside of your own country or the country of origin of where the satellite was bought for up to 2 months. After 2 months, they're gonna be like, you're staying here too long. Do you live here or what? You have to register it to an address of that country. So as long as you're not staying, I guess, in one country for more than 2 months, you could just use it. Me, my plan is to leave the satellite in the Philippines. So every time I go on vacation, it's there. And my understanding is you can pause it. Don't know how long is it for, but if they don't have a time limit on that, pause it for 10 months out of the year. I mean, you're only going to use. I'm not seeing any disconnecting yet. No. Good. Now, if I had another phone that was linked to it, I could probably keep an eye on it, see if it gives any analytics or anything like that. I did notice when I was looking in the app that it does show, or you can look at how much data you already used. So I have a 50 gig cap. You could set if you use up the 50 gigs, it will continue. It's $1 a gig, which if you think about it is not bad because the 50 gigs is already costing or better, of course. And hopefully when they say unlimited, it's not like my cell phone where it's the first 50 gigs high speed and then the rest is so slow you can't even check your email. Now, I'm still need to get a hold of my friend, find out if they have any details of, the event. Go ahead and cut me off. You want to do it? I saw you. No. The details of the event, if they're having it in Boracay again, all that stuff. Get the dates. But because I wanted to make sure I got my plane ticket and everything, I already bought my plane ticket, so I already have my plane ticket. So, and I'm actually going to be flying into Cebu I could always catch a flight from Cebu to Manila, unless Cebu goes straight to Boracay. I don't know. But I could always catch a flight from, I guess, Cebu to Boracay or whatever. I just need to know the dates. And I'm pretty sure I could ask some people, you know, Ann and everybody, what would be the best way to go to Boracay from Cebu. But just to make sure I got my ticket and everything's taken care of as far as getting to the Philippines, I already bought my flight. So. Yeah. I've gotten bad at my age. I react too much to the morons on the road. Seriously, you know, it's like if you need to get from point A to point B by a certain amount of time, give yourself enough time. At my age, okay, because younger I was a nut. There's no excuse for when I was in my, 17, 18, 19, my early 20s and stuff, probably until 30. I mean, there's no excuse for the craziness I did. But, now that I'm in my 50s, I don't see it anymore. What's the rush? What's the thrill? Or what's the reasoning behind you wanting to do 60 miles an hour in a 40 mile an hour zone? Because every time I post a video talking about road rage or anything, one of the first comments is, I'm at fault because I'm in the wrong lane. I'm sorry, I'm in the center lane. And in the streets, I don't think it matters, but in the highway, I'm normally in the center lanes. I'm not in the far left, which is technically the slow lane. I'm not in the far right, which is the passing lane. You're not even supposed to drive in that. And a lot of people in the comments will be like, well, you're driving too slow. Move to the left, the right. You belong on the right. I'm like, no, if the speed limit is 65 and I'm doing 65, I'm not driving too slow. I'm not going to the far right. And then all the zigzagging and no turn signals and all the craziness every single day. I think my frustration with driving now, like every time I have to go to the office, is not that I have an issue with going to the office or working at an office. It's the traveling to the office. This is where I get that like blah feeling. Having to actually get to the office. Once I'm at the office is good. But having to deal with all this around me, not so much. That's why I got the dash camera with 4 cameras on it. People are going to get that stupid and I'm going to get hit. I'm making sure that's recorded. That dash cam, this dash cam right here, that's 4 separate cameras on that thing. As soon as I start the car, that thing's on. I don't even have to hit a button. I don't have to do anything. And ever since I got hit when I got back from the Philippines, I made sure with this car that I just bought a few months ago, that camera's installed. It's turn the car around, camera's on, done. And I'm trying to not make an issue about the whole accident thing, but I'm very pissed off because the insurance company basically blew me off. Not mine, because it wasn't my fault. My insurance company's not responsible. But the driver's insurance company basically blew me off. So I didn't get anything for the accident. I actually paid $3,000 to get my car fixed, all out of my own pocket. Now the car's in the shop again because I left it sitting too long, it won't even turn on. But then, you know, brakes are rusted, rotors are rusted, tires bad, so now I got $1,500 to pay on a car. Then this one's going in the shop for oil change and stuff, and I guarantee you they're gonna find something to fix. Probably another $1,000, $2,000. So I want to get the other one up and running because I don't want to drive this one for the winter. And then I just have to decide if I'm going to keep this one, even though it's the newer one, or I'm going to sell it, because 2 cars is hard. I need 2 cars probably, but 2 cars are hard, and I could get more money probably for this one than the other one. But I'm not going to get anywhere close to what I need for this one. It is what it is, but back to the satellite. So, where am I now? I am now in Vernon Hills, Illinois. And I need to slow down because now I'm driving too fast. And so far, I think we've been good. So, I mean, I don't really see a lot of people using it in their car, like me. But, you know, if you have an RV or something like that, probably work real nice. I mean, family outings, you know, you go out and have a picnic or something, I can see this. Now, when I go to the Philippines, hopefully I have enough budget, but one of my things that I want to do, like, almost right away, in which I got to figure out the best way of doing it. I prefer not to go places by myself, but I know Ann is either going to be almost due or already have the baby, so I really don't want to bother her with it. But I want to pick up a power station, not a battery backup, or a power station for the studio apartment, because I can't deal with power outages. Not in my line of work. I mean, I deal with it in the US, but we don't have that often, and we don't have them that long, at least not that I've experienced. So I want it to be enough to deal with the house, you know, the studio, which should be fine. I'm not going to have a lot there. Probably won't run the air conditioner, but I could run, you know, the fan and the computer and stuff, the satellite. But you know, if we do go out to like the countryside, or we do go out somewhere where it's going to be outdoors, I want to take the satellite with. I got to plug it in. So I was looking, I like Anchor, so I was looking at one of the Anchor ones. I've heard of one that's something like a blue something, but I have to see what's available in the Philippines. Now, I do have 2 power banks that have 120 outlets, but those things are only like 90 watt hours or 90 something. They're not going to last too long. They might last maybe an hour or 2. Really? Yeah, I could swear I've made comments and I never see them. And then what I do, Paul, is I'll go and switch from like the top chat back to the live chat, and then I'll see them. But it's normally the fresh ones that I type. They're very strange. YouTube is real weird with the chat sometimes. Sometimes I can swear I never shows up, period. My channels are ridiculously filtered because I'm never paying attention to do any modding. Not that I do a lot, but I know someone in a group that does a lot of moderating. I mean, I believe he's actually gonna come out with like moderating classes and all that stuff. He's so invested in modding. He's got a list, like a common word filter list to make sure none of these words get through or something. And it's over like 2,000 words, and I think he charges like a one-time fee of $15. And you just put your email, send him the $15. He sends you an email with a list of like over 2,000 words in your filter. So I have no clue what's in that filter. It's too many words for me to look at. But I doubt that's what's going on. And I think there's actually been times where, and it's really weird, Paul, that you bring it up, where if I'm on one of my accounts, I'd never seen no one like this particular person ever make a comment. And then I jumped on like my phone under another account and I could see every comment they said. And I'm like, okay, how are you supposed to moderate a room when you can't even see what someone's saying? And I have maybe one person blocked. I think in my channel, but I'm talking about other channels. So I don't know what would cause not seeing like a complete thread from someone. Like you don't even see them type a word. And that's why I always pay attention. I'll get confused. Like Desiree will start talking to someone. I'm like, who she's talking to? I don't see anything. And then she'll be like, he's making comments in the room. And I'm like, I don't see anything. And then with Ann, it's more confusing because it's just her on Facebook. She literally sets up, I think, 2 phones sometimes, and one to be YouTube and one to be Facebook. Yeah, I mean, I find it weird, and I always wonder what it might be when I'm sitting in chats and I'll see like really fucked up comments, and you know, I see like 4 or 5 mods talking, and it's like, did you see that? Did you see that? Sometimes I question if they actually see some of the people typing, because I've experienced it myself. And like I said, sometimes I'll switch accounts and I can see the typing. But there's times where no matter what account I use, I don't see them typing. I find it very weird and frustrating. Yeah. When it's your own comments, yeah. And then I thought that maybe some of these guys, but I find it interesting when I'm in a room that I mod and I see other mods like blocking people, and I swear, I'm like, who is this person that just got blocked? I never saw them make a comment and they got blocked. So I don't know if it's because I'm not seeing the comment, or you guys somehow are watching an actual list. Because I know I go into the list where it says participants, and there'll be like 50, 60 people in the room, but that list is so small, and I'm thinking all that list means is who's actually like chatting. But I don't know if you know some people by name and you already know they're a pain in the butt, and you guys are just knocking them out on, you know, like automatically. But I'll see every once in a while Derek or one of the other mods like hide someone or put them on timeout, and I'm like, I never even seen them make a comment. And I mean, it's like blatant. It's not like reading between the lines. I know you get some of those where they kind of play on words. It was pretty blatant what the guy was saying. And it's like, oh, let's see. We are now in Wheeling, Illinois. I didn't actually set my GPS. I don't know how much longer I have. But it looks like it's almost 8 o'clock already, so I'm probably not far. Running a little late. I start at 8. Should have been there by now. And you see, that's weird because even as a moderator, now as a regular viewer, that's different. But as a moderator, you should still see at least the comment being hidden or something. Like if you hide the comment, or I think if you timed them out, you'll still see a list of like their name, but then the comment will be like removed, and then but you could tell they were making comments. You don't know what the comment is unless you click where it says view comment. But I mean, I gotten to the point where as soon as I see someone get like timed out or banned, I start scrolling up. I don't see nothing. I'm like, it's like, is it because I'm lagging? It never got to the point where it loaded on my phone or my computer. Who knows? There's so much complexity behind YouTube, I wouldn't be surprised. There's probably tons of glitches. Filipina Unique. Hola, ¿cómo está? So, again, we're just testing the Starlink. I got the satellite in the car. And it helps if I don't close my coffee. But so far, I'm really liking the satellite, to be honest with you. Yeah, you could get a hotspot, but the hotspot's still working off cellular data. When you go into a building, you're still dealing with that device having to go through all the walls and do all that stuff. The whole idea of a satellite and a satellite being outdoors, there are no obstructions. Now, where you might have to take certain setups in consideration is if, let's say, for example, you're going to set up the satellite outside, but you're going to inside. Now you're dealing with the brick wall. And my mindset's all Philippines because I'm taking the satellite to the Philippines. You're going to still be dealing with the concrete walls, the metal rods, and all that stuff. So that's where, in my head, you're going to set up the satellite as a modem where it's just going to send a signal to a router that you're going to have in the house. Depending on the size of the house, how many walls, then you have to add switches and switches and access points and all that stuff, which I know how to play with a lot of that stuff. So I'm a little excessive. I have way too much equipment in my house, but I'm also running about 6 different networks. So I'm excessive. Are you turning? What are you doing? Because you're taking too much of the road. He's turning. So I should be at the office hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so, because it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning here. I should be working. But as far as I can tell, the signal's been great. And yeah. Now, it would be interesting if someone came up with, because again, people make all kinds of stuff, come up with a backpack that you could mount this on and probably like pop it up, because you want it to be on an angle. You don't want it to be flat. You want it to be on an angle. I would definitely buy that backpack, because I would put like the battery backups or the power banks. I'll put them inside the bag, plug in the satellite, and then you just, if it doesn't already have a natural tilt to the bag, like it tilts and then comes down, have it to where you could just like pop it up or something. I'll strap this on my back and just walk around. How many people will look at me crazy in the Philippines? This big, not tall, big Spanish guy walking around with a satellite dish on his back, streaming from his phone. I think that would be hilarious. Construction work. Gotta love the construction work. Yeah, it's one thing to carry the satellite and set it up once you're at a place, but to just have a special design backpack to where the dish just like is part of the backpack, it just mounts right on top of it. I personally think that would be cool. So if anyone knows anyone that designs stuff like that, I'll be interested in a backpack that you can mount the dish on. Night, Paul. Have a good one. I'm blurry, or the road is blurry? Because this is going to be blurry. See, I'm going to show you. If I point it that way, it should be clear. If I point it this way, it gets blurry because it's focusing on my dashboard. But if I'm blurry, that's a problem. Also, just to let some of you all know, if you don't already, YouTube is normally going to be set to auto for the video quality for people watching. If you go into the settings, you can switch auto to manual and actually pick what you want. This is probably going to be 720 in the best quality. I don't think we're doing 1080 or 4K. I'm just saying. But I've noticed sometimes when I'm watching other people's channels, it defaults like 180, 240. That drives me crazy. I have to manually set it to like at least 720. But I won't know until I go back and watch the video myself. But again, this cell phone has 0 data. This entire drive has been off of the satellite. So if I get a weak signal or a weak internet connection from the dish to the satellite, not the phone to the dish, that's Wi-Fi, that's full bars, that's amazing. But from the dish to the satellites in the sky, if I get a weak signal or a bad connection from there, it will affect the stream. Personally, I'm not seeing it, but I'll probably see it when I look at the video after work. And it doesn't help that the sun is blasting me too. So I am now in Prospect Heights, Illinois. Pretty sure we've been driving at least an hour, give or take. But once I get to the office, I don't know if it's gonna affect the dish. Maybe I'll like grab it and bring it down. You guys get to see it, but I mean, it's not that big. It's right here. So it's very mobile. It's not heavy. Literally, I think I could just put it inside my backpack next to my laptop. It's not big. All right, I think I'm about 10 minutes away still. Some of these locations take me a little longer to get there, and if I stop for breakfast, I'm gonna be late, but I had to eat. Now, I'm kind of curious what's wrong with this computer because I did talk to them over the phone. Sounds like the computer's not turning on, or it's not on, but they're claiming they're pushing a button, they're turning it on, nothing's happening. So I'm driving to the office to see why this computer's not turning on. And hopefully it's something I could fix. Hopefully it's not a big deal. It's a newer computer, so I don't know why it wouldn't work. But I do know it's not turning on. Now, I'll be surprised when I do the range test, the Wi-Fi range test. Open area. One of the biggest things I try to explain to people when they're dealing with Wi-Fi is not just distance, or line of sight. And I've sometimes have people ask me, what's line of sight? You want to see what in a different room, a different floor. MG, I think you were saying that there's like 2-3 floors and it's on the second floor. If you can't see it, the signal's not going to be as good. The more walls, the more floors, the further you are away from it, the weaker the signal. And in the US, a lot of our houses are frame and drywall, so it doesn't affect the Wi-Fi signal strength as much as it does in the Philippines. I mean, when I was in the Philippines this past February, I was surprised how weak the signal was just going from one room to the next. So that's why I'm so excited to go back to the Philippines and hopefully be able to play with some of these things, because it's totally different than here in the US. So I want to learn and practice the differences, the how signals affected with the construction and architecture that's in the Philippines. Which I could probably do the same thing in Puerto Rico and visit my family, but no. Alright. Should be very close. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop the light. Okay, I see the office now. So once I park, hopefully I find parking. I'll go ahead and stop the live. But once I get out of here, I'm going to start it again. And then I'll let my boss know that I'm going to stop and switch cars at the mechanics. I got to pick up my car from the shop and drop this one off for an oil change. Trying to maintain two cars is going to be kind of confusing. So I might lose signal now because there's trees and everything here, but we are at the office now. So here's the dish. That's all it is. And I'm just sticking it in the sunroof. Probably wasn't a good idea touching it. All right, that's going to be it. Catch you all later. I got to go to work.